In today's session, we are going to discuss about the concept called views. What is a view? A view is always a responsible person to display the output to the user. A view is always handles with HTML and the CSS. This is all about the front end bootstrap. If you want, you can add any other material and whatever it may be. This is all going to be handled the front end. A view is nothing but what is the main aim of MVC architecture? Organizing the code into separate folders. We can keep controllers in one file, models in one file, and all the views, nothing but HTML, CSS files will be saved in one other location. As per our MVC architecture, if you can see, when a user sends a request, first the controller will receive by the request, then only we can communicate with the view. See, a browser will never communicate with the view directly, and a browser will never communicate with the model directly. The communication between the browser and a view should be happen via a controller only. Let me do one more thing, one more diagram, so that it will be helpful for us, right? Let me go and let me create a small diagram. This diagram is only for view, right? How a view will communicate with the controller and it will display the output to you, right? See, let us assume this is the browser. In browser, you are going to type something, right? Let me type some URL here. So HTTP localhost, we are in the local server, right? Local server, you have to access an URL. Let me type an URL HTTP / localhost / your project name is news, no? News. Up to here, this is our base URL. I mean main URL this is. After that, what is the first segment? Name of the controller. Let me add one controller called test. Okay, this time I'm adding the controller name as test. After the test, so we can have index method. No? So definitely by default, may have index method or any other method, guys. Okay, let us assume. So this is your class, controller class. What is this actually? I have to mention controller class. Better to go with controller. So because the name of the controller should be here. After hitting enter, so it has to come to. So first of all, we are communicating with the mode view and controller, guys, not model. Model is not there right now. So we know that this is our architecture diagram. This is what we did on the day, right? So okay, as per that, here we can have controllers. Okay, this is our controllers folder, and this is our views folder, and this is our models folder. This is what we see in the same. Okay, let me name them also so that it will be helpful for us. This is our controllers folder. Okay, controllers folder. All our class files will be available here. So this is your models folder. All model classes will be available here, and let me consider this as my views folder. All my views HTML files, CSS files will be available. Let's assume here. So here, what is I'm requesting here? This should be the name of the controller, definitely, right? So the name of the controller should be something like anything. So here you can create one file test.php. I'm creating one class, one file test.php. What is the name of the file? Test, capital T I take it. You know what is the rules and regulations we have to follow while creating controller. That's what we see in the last session, right? Yeah. So test.php is my file name. Then tell me what is the name of the class? Test class. Your class name is test. Class name and file name should be same now as per controllers, right? Yeah. Here I have a view. Let me have a view called sample.php. Okay, this is a file name called sample.php, guys. In this sample.php, you written some code, whatever the code it may be. You written some welcome message or written some template or little bit code. You can write some HTML code inside of this HTML. This file may contain HTML code. This sample.php may contain HTML code, but don't save the file as .html. You have to save every file into .php only. That may be a view that maybe handles with HTML and CSS, but you have to save it as .php only. Fine, guys. When you are sending a request in the browser, so this is you are sending a request to browser, right? Immediately the request will receive. So once the URL hit enter, it will receive to the controller. Why? Because you are mentioning, see, 1 minute, let me go and let me remove this here. We written something, right? 1 minute. Let me clean this. Here in place of this, actually we have to add our class, right? What is the class, guys? Here you have to add the test class. Name of the class is going to be test now. So let me do here simply test. So you mentioned test here, right, in the URL. So it will come to your controllers. It will look for a test.php file. Yes, are there now? Test.php is there. So based on the thing, guys, remember carefully. What is you are requesting here? Test and immediately it will come to tester in the controllers folder. See, one thing I'm saying you, who will receive the request? Always controller will receive the request. That's we know, right? Now from here, the request will go to automatically from here. The request will go to from here. It will go to the view because we have to load the view. I'm saying you, we cannot load your view directly. It is impossible. We can load your view with the help of controller only, right? So we have to send a request to controller. Controller will decide what to load, how to load, when to load. Right now, again, what this view will do? Will this view directly send to the browser? No, this view will never go to the browser directly. After that, once the request went, and it will come to again the controller, guys. From controller, it will display the output in the browser. Do you see the communication? Okay, let me do one thing here. Now we are going to create a view, right? What is a view name? View name could be sample.php. So where we have to save this file, guys? Where is our project? This is our project called news project. Inside of this, we have application folder. Inside of it, we have views folder. Inside the views folder, we are going to create a file called sample.php. Understand? So let me create a view file and let me keep some HTML content inside of it. Okay, open your editor. So now I'm going to the editor, right? This is my editor. Let me create some sample stuff here. HTML tag open, HTML tag close. Let me save the file. Tell me please where I have to save this file. Inside our project. What is our project name? News is my project name. Inside this application folder, we have views folder. All HTML stuff should be here, right? So let me save the file here called sample.php. While saving the file, I mean for the view, we don't want need any naming convention, guys. Starting letters could be either capital or lowercase. It could be anything, no problem at all, right? For controllers only, you have to follow the rules and regulations, not for the views, not required. Let me go with the head section open, head section close. Let me go with something called title here, title tab open and title tag close. So I'm writing, this is my first view, something I'm writing, don't worry. This is my first view, and here you can come down. It should be a body tag now. So body tag open, body tag close. Remember, where are you saving this file? This file is saved in application views folder with the name sample.php. Right now, so here I'm writing one h1 tag. Remember carefully how these will be communicated each other. All of you try to see, right? So here I'm writing my first view. This is what I'm writing here simply. This is my first view, right? Cut it, guys. If you want, you can write some other h2 CodeIgniter training h1 tagger. Okay, no worries. CodeIgniter training, something like that. I'm writing some messages. CodeIgniter TRAINH. Done, guys. This is the view you have. If you can execute this file, we can see the output. What is the output? We can see my first view CodeIgniter training. This is what we can see in the front end. But I'm asking you one thing. Can I call this view directly in the browser? Did you see where this view is saved? Copy the file path here. I'm copying the file path. Can you see the file was saved in the following location? Can I run this file directly in the browser? Is it possible? Impossible. You cannot run a file directly from the browser. It's not at all possible, guys. Localhost news, you want to run the file like this? Localhost news sample.php, it cannot run. You want to try? You can go and you can try this. Localhost /news/ you are trying to execute sample.php, it cannot run. Remember carefully. This is not the way of running. You want to add the full path, application /views/sample, something like this. You want me to do something like this, application /views/sample.php. You want to execute the same like this, SAMPLE, sample.php. So you want me to? It cannot. Forbidden. You don't have a right to access this resource. So then how can we call this HTML file? Sample.php contain complete HTML code. You have to call it with the help of controller only. A view file will never displayed, will never rendered into the browser automatically. A view will always rendered with the help of controller only. So to display this view, what we need to do, we have to create one controller, guys. Let me go and let me create one controller. Tell me please, where we have to save the controllers, the controllers folder now? Just now you created one view. That view is saved inside the views folder, application views folder. Now you are going to create one controller. Why you are creating controller? We created a view. Unfortunately, that view is not rendered into the browser. To render a view, will it render automatically? So see what I'm saying diagrammatically here. Can I call this view to the browser directly? Is it possible? So I'm asking you, right? So from here, can I call the view directly with the browser? It is impossible. That's not possible. That's the reason we are asking an approach. So is it possible? This is impossible. Loading a view directly to the browser as per MVC, not possible. So first of all, you have to send a request to from browser. It has to go to controller. From controller, it has to go to views. From view, it has to render the output to again controller. From controller, it has to go to the browser. This is what the flow should be happen. So that's the reason our view is ready, but unfortunately, we are not able to call the view. To call the view, what we need to do, definitely, we need to take the help of a controller. That's the reason I'm creating the controller called some file name. You can create any controller, but where we have to save this controller. Controller is nothing but a class. All class files should be saved in the controllers. My class file name is going to be test.php. It is already there. Don't worry, override it, no problem. Oh, it already exists in the notepad. It is showing you. Okay, guys, I have already this file is there. Okay, anyhow, else let me save this. What is the file we can save, guys? Here in controller class sample test.php already available. That we've seen some examples in the yesterday, right? Okay, let me take something called sampler. Okay, let me take my file sample controller. See, view name is the same. Yes or not? What is the name of the view? Sample.php. What is the name of the controller? Sample.php. They may be same, but remember, view is saved inside our views folder, but controller is saved inside our controllers folder. Yes or not, right? That file may be different, this file may be, but while creating controller, there is some naming convention, right? Or else you don't want sample. Let me go with simply base.php is my file, right? This is our controller class. Then tell me please, what is my class name? Base. Why should I take base? As per our CodeIgniter controllers, name of the class and the name of the file should be matched. So class base extends, I told you, every controller should extend with the CA underscore controller. Understand? Right, this is my class, guys. Inside this class, I'm creating one function index, public function index, or simply you can write function index also, no problem. But always follow public function index. This is the index function, default function, we know that, right? So guys, one thing remember, we will always keep here the base path, right? Base path is required now. So if you want, you can take the base path also. If you can see, right, on the top of the page, defined base path, or else something like his statement is there, right? So we have to keep this statement for every file, guys. You can see in the welcome.php, defined base path or exit. The base path is not there, we have to exit. This we have to take by default in each other. Sometimes I maybe forget to take this path, but you have to take this into every controller that is created by you. So this will allow you without accessing this file directly. So it will stop you if anybody trying to access this file directly or anybody trying to do something, this method will stop you, right? So you cannot access this script. Anyhow, this is the index method, guys. I'm writing echo. Let us write some welcome message here. Echo welcome message. This is our something. So how can we call this, guys? Generally, open the browser window, localhost news. What is the name of the controller? Base is the name of the controller. Hit enter. If you can hit enter, we don't want to pass the second segment. Why? Index method, na? See, if you are not passing the second segment, the index method will get called automatically, right? So no problem. Now you can see I'm going to hit enter. By entering, can you see you are getting welcome message? This is the welcome message you are getting. 1 minute, one more question in the chat window. Let me check. Sir, without defined also, we can't access direct path, right? Yes, we can't access. Seriously, Banu, you're asking a good question. But frameworks will come directly by default security. If you are not defining this path also, no problem, but they cannot be accessed at any cost. Without this also, we can write it, but it's a good practice as per standard I'm talking about, right? So without this also, we can do it, guys, right? Can you see now, I'm able to get the welcome message, but I don't want welcome message, sir. I have a view, right? Can you see, guys? Here we have sample view. Can you see, guys? Here this is sample view should be loaded with the help of index function. We know that they can get called automatically. That's why we created one controller that is called base controller. Then what we need to do, guys, whatever the view you created, this view should be loaded here. Now guys, now then think here, all of you try to see how can we load a view into controller question. Understand, guys? So we created a view, we created a controller, but they need to communicate each other, right? Now the process, guys, remember carefully, How can we load a view into a controller? Right. So question, how can we load a view into controller? Understand? How can we load a view into controller? Right. So we have a predefined method, guys. Tell us this of load of view. What is this? Can you understand what is this? Wait for some time. I can explain you about this soft load. And the name of the view file, guys. View file name. You have to pass the view file name. Just the name of the file name. That's it. Don't pass the path. The path is not required. Just the name of the file name. What is our name of the file name, guys? By using this of. What is the meaning of this, guys? This means current class. This of load, LOAD, load. Loader is a predefined object. In this load, we have a method called view method. Here we are going to pass the name of the view. What is the name of the view? Just a sample. .php is okay. You can enter or you can avoid it also. No problem. Simply, this is going to load the view. Then, so what we need to do? Go to your controller, and this is our view. Right side, you have your view. Left side, you have your controller. We know that as for MVC, a view will never call directly to the browser. So a view will always call with the help of controller. Why? Because in URL, as per URL architecture, what we will pass always in the URL, guys, as a first segment, name of the class. You have to pass name of the class only, not the name of the view, right? What is the name of the class? My class name is view base, right? Sorry, this is the base. Then what you need to do? So here we have to load the view, guys. To load the view, this of load of view. So inside this view, pass the name of the view you created sample. That's it, guys. Now, can you go and execute our controller? This is my controller, right? Base. Index is not required here. Even if you want, you can pass index also as a segment, no problem. Can you see what are you getting now? My first view, CodeIgniter training. Can you remember where did we written this? Can you got the things, guys? This messages was written inside a HTML template. This is what the template we written. You want to take a paragraph tag here, one more paragraph tag. So this is right, CodeIgniter, something like I'm writing CodeIgniter, and refresh the page. Can you see that is also coming now? See, did you call any view in the browser directly? No, you didn't call the view. What are you calling in the browser? You are always calling the controller. Remember, in MVC architecture, a controller is a responsible person to call a view, to call a model, to load a view, to load anything. What are the things we have? First, the request went to base controller. The base controller, we have index method. In this index method, we are calling the view. Can you guys tell me, here we have to talk about one thing, guys. Okay, let me close that view. That is not required for us right now. Okay, here you guys should answer for something. Can you tell me what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Can I open a sample class which we created? 1 minute. Go to CI3. I think we created some sample classes, right? Go to CI3. I think I created somewhere, I don't know. All right, class 3. Not here. This is what? Inheritance example. Class 1. Yeah, guys, can you tell me? Here I have connection variable now. On top of it, how can we access this variable inside a method this of connection? This of connection. Yes or not? Current class object. Can you tell me please here, by seeing this class, anybody, this is the load property. You are writing this of load. See, what is the meaning actually here? It should be available. There are load property, something like this. There are load is should be available, something like this. Then we can get this of load of view, right? But is this load property defined anywhere in here? No, you are not defining here, guys. But how it is calling this, guys? Do you know? In base class, this is our base class now. Every controller should extend with the base class, guys. Can you see? I'm not extending the base class. I'm simply writing. First example also I written simply. You got the output, but this time you cannot get the output, guys. Can you go and execute it? You will get error. Error, you know, warning, undefined property base class of load property is not defined in your base class. Did you define anywhere in the base property called load? See, the error also very important. Undefined property base class of load is not defined in your base class. But then if it is not defined in the base class, where it is defined earlier, definitely that property was defined inside our CI controller class. See, we are accessing a property. If this property is not available in the current class, then it will look into the parent class now. As for inheritance, what is inheritance is saying that whatever the property you are defining, if that available in the class, that will be accessed. If it is not available, it will look into the parent class. Means that this loader object, this is object, guys. This is a predefined object. Loader is a predefined object. About this, we can discuss about later separately. Don't worry. This of load is a predefined object which is defined in the CI controller. That's the reason. Remember, whatever the resources the CodeIgniter is providing, libraries, helpers, models, views, or anything, guys. If you want to access any predefined thing into your controller, remember carefully, your controller should extend the CI controller. Without extending CI controller, we can do anything in our CodeIgniter. That's the reason we have to extend this, guys. Without this also, we can see what is it. Now you can see it is not extending. If it is not extending, CodeIgniter framework is providing some predefined resources, databases and libraries and helpers, some other drivers, lot of things are there. You cannot access the predefined resources into your classes. Now you can see now you are extending CI controller. If you are extending with CI controller, now you can able to access all the predefined resources of the CodeIgniter into your controller. If this is not extended, you can't do anything. So you know, if you are not using CI controller, then this is a basic class. There is no use of it. We cannot use the predefined classes, predefined libraries, predefined helpers into your class. When you can access the predefined libraries, predefined thing and everything, if you can extend this with CI controller, it's a very important thing. Each and every class which is created by you should extend the CI controller. Without this, you can't do anything, guys. Seriously, I'm saying you, and please follow the same rules and regulations here, right? Right. This is public function index. This of load of view sample is loaded. See, this of load property was defined in the CI controller. So in the loader object, we have a method called view method. By using this method, we can load the view, guys. We can load multiple views also. For example, let me go, and this is the sample view we created, right? Let me do one thing. Control C. I'm going to create a new file into the views folder. Go to the views folder. So into your project, this is my views folder. Now I'm going to create my view.php. You can name anything, no problem, right? This is my first view. No? Let us write this is my second view. I'm writing this is SECO and the second view. You can write anything, no problem at all, guys. Here. So CodeIgniter training. Let me make this as a WordPress training or something like this. RAINING. Understand? So this is how we can take things, guys. Well, can you see now? This is the view. So now we have two views. One is a sample and one more is my view. How can I load these two views? Can I load two views into one method? It is possible. Can you see? If you want to load that two also, again tell this of load of view. What is the other view you created there? So you want to you created a view. What is the name of the view? My view. Now you can execute it. This view will also be loaded. Can you see? This is from my view. .php. This is from one page. Like this, we can segregate, guys. Nothing but in every website we have header and footer is common. So for every website, header, footer, body. Let me keep header into one file. Let me keep footer in one file, and body may be vary for every time, right? So generally, how we can write this, in real time. So in this type of situation, we can write this, guys. This of load of view. So for every method, we can write something like this. This is header.php. So this is going to be footer.php. So footer and header is common for every page, right? So in the middle, we can write some, I don't know what is it, maybe simply I'm writing body.php. For every page, header and footer is common, right? Header and footer is common. Let me keep header into one file. Let me keep footer into one file. And the body of the page maybe changes based on the requirement, guys. So this is how we can load multiple views also. This is also possible. How can we load multiple views? Yes, by using this, guys. So we cannot pass all the views here at a time. So this is not possible, but we can load views, every view individually like this. This offload of view, this offload of view. If you have 10 views, no way. We have tried 10 times this offload of view, this offload of view. 10 different views. So if you want to load the same view multiple times, what is the use of loading same view multiple times? There is no use of it, right? Simply, so it will work, no problem. So now you can go and execute this. Definitely it will work. Now you are loading the one view 4 times, right? You will get the output 4 times on the screen. Can you see? WordPress training, you are getting 4 times. Why? Because you loaded that view 4 times. It is not required to load one view 4 times, guys. One view, one time is enough. Right. So this is how we can load header and footer also, guys. So later I will show you theme integration in CodeIgniter. We will download one HTML template. Downloading that HTML template, there I can show you how can we convert the template into CodeIgniter. So the CodeIgniter website, the website we are going to create in upcoming sessions, we are going to create a CodeIgniter website definitely. How can we create the CodeIgniter website? How can we integrate a Bootstrap template into CodeIgniter? We will see them practically, right, in the sessions. Don't worry about it, right? But now we are loading the view. That's perfect, guys. Okay, right. Shall we recollect it one more time? Right? Okay, let me go and let me create one more controller, one more view. This time, I'm going to create the view first. I'll have to try to see what is the view I'm going to create as per the diagram. So go to the diagram if you want. Now I'm going to create one controller, one view, right? So now you can see I'm creating one view. This is going to be subjects.php is the view. Okay, subjects view, or else you can take under subjects underscore view. You can use any name, no problem. Name could be your choice completely. I'm saying you right. All right, subjects view done. So this is subjects view is going to display the list of subjects, guys. Here I want to create one controller called subjects.php. See, as I used there, controller. So in the browser, if you are typing something called subjects slash index method, automatically it has to load the view, following view. Let me create the view here. I'm going to create the view, HTML open, HTML close. I'm doing the same job again and again, guys. Try to see here. HTML tag open and head tag close, head tag open close. Save the file first of all. Where we have to save the file? Don't forget, this is a HTML file. This should be into the views folder. My file name is here subjects underscore view.php. What is my file name? Subjects underscore view.php. Name of the file could be anything. That is your choice completely. So this is going to be title, guys. Title open, title close. Subjects. Subjects. Okay, list of subjects. Okay, you can mention this as list list of subjects. Okay, you can take the heading like this. You can go to the body tag open, body tag close. Let me have one h1 tag here. List of subjects again. This is going to be list of subjects. List of SUBJCTS, list of subjects, guys. Done? Right. Now you guys needs to think here. I'm taking ULLI. So to display the list of subjects, available subjects here. LI. This is going to be LI tag open, LI tag close. Here you can take anchor tag if you want. You can take anchor tag also. Actually not required, just displaying purpose, na? Right. So let us take HTML. Let us take something called CSS. Let's take something called Bootstrap. Right. Let me take something JavaScript. So like this, we are taking some subjects, guys, jQuery. Okay. Right. So this view should be rendered into the front end. Now, can I render this view into the front end directly? It is impossible. We know that. Then what we need to do, guys, here? So to this view, we have to call into the browser. Definitely, we know that this view won't call directly. So for this view, I have to call a controller. Remember carefully, I'm creating one more file. Your view is completed. So this view should be rendered in the browser now. So for that rendering, I'm going to create one controller into the controllers folder. That is very important. Go to controllers folder. You are going to create one controller called subjects.php is my name of the controller. So what is the name of the controller? Subjects. Then what is our class name? Class subjects. Class name and file name should be same. Extends. We know that every controller should extend with C underscore controller. Don't do spell mistakes here. Right. So let us create one function, public function index, or anything you can take, no problem. Public function index. In this index function, I have to load that view. Can you please tell me how can I load the view? $this of load of view is a predefined method. It's a predefined, guys. Right. So here we have to pass the name of the view. What is the name of the view? Subjects underscore view. This is the name of the view you created. Name of the view. Can you check this? What is the name of the file? Subjects underscore view. Now, what you are going to do? Just open the browser. Right. What we have to call here? Simply http://localhost/news is a project. What is the name of the class? Sample. That's enough, guys. Index method will get called automatically. We don't want to mention that index method in the URL. Open the browser window, and can you see? You are going to see the list of subjects here. Now I'm calling this. Can you see? Oh, it is giving you. What is the name of the class, guys? Name of the class is going to be subjects now. What I given here? Oh, I given sample. Sorry. Actually, you have to give the subjects. Is that not right? This is the name of the class. SUBJECTS subjects. No spell mistakes. Open the browser. You are giving sample. It is giving you some error, right? It is not there. That's fine. Right now you can hit enter. Localhost news subjects. Hit enter. An error occurred, guys. Can you see? Unable to load the requested file subject underscore view. Subjects underscore view. What is the name of the file? Can you see? I have tried to load a view in my subjects controller. This is subjects is a controller. I have tried to call this. It is saying that unable to load the requested file. I was not able to load the requested file subject underscore view. Tell me please, what is the name of the view file you created? Subjects underscore view. Subject underscore view. Can you see my view name? So let me copy the name of the file here. Can you see, guys, what is the name of the file? Subjects underscore view, subject underscore view, subjects underscore view. This is also very, very important. Keep it in mind. You cannot mistake the names. Whatever the name of the view file, the same name should be available here. This is going to be subjects underscore view. This is the name of the view. Now open the browser window and refresh the page. So can you see this list of the subjects are coming there? But here, unfortunately, whatever the subjects we are rendering here, these subjects are static. They are not dynamic. Guys, they are not dynamic. Then what we need to do? Tell me please. They are not dynamic, unfortunately. These list of subjects are not dynamic, static subjects. These subjects, at least we have to make dynamic now. So how can we pass some data to this view with the help of controller? See, a view cannot read the data from database, guys. As for MVC architecture, tell me please, a view can read the data from database. Here, I have a diagram here. Can this view will able to communicate with the model directly? Is it possible? As per MVC architecture, this is impossible, right? We know that this is not at all possible. We can do like this. This communication is not possible. Anyhow, right now we don't have any model, right? We don't know how to create a model, how to work with the databases. Leave it, no worries. Let me take some static data into the controller and let me try to pass to these guys. Here, what I'm going to take, how can we pass data to a view? This is your view and this is our controller. Who can pass the data to the view? Always a controller, guys. So what we need to do, let me take some data, array of subjects we have to take, guys. So here I'm going to take some subjects. Take the element, each and every subject as an element, HTML, JavaScript, or CSS, anything, whatever it may be. You can take something called CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap, like this. You can take all the things, boot, strap. Let us assume this data is came from database, but anyhow, we are making static, but we don't know as of now how to get the data from database. Right? That's why I'm taking you this, guys. Here, HTML, Bootstrap, JavaScript. Let us take PHP. Let's take MySQL. Let us take CodeIgniter. Like this, I'm taking some subject this time now. These are all the subjects we have, guys. Now, what we need to do? This data, we have to send it to a view now. How can we send a data to a view? That's a question, guys. If you want to send a data to a view, we have to use an associative array. What is associative array? It's a key and value pair combination, right? See, these are the subjects. If you want to pass these subjects to view, see, I'm taking an associative array, the data of subjects. Try to see all of you subjects. So this is the data. Simply, you have to pass as a second parameter to this view method. This is your data. Second parameter should be data. If you have any dynamic data, then this should be come here. You can take, see, is the name of the variable is always data. You can take any variable. That is your choice completely. Data. Just have taken for the namesake data. You can take any variable there. Now this data will be transferred to view. In view, how can we access this data? So we are passing, we are loading the view. While loading, we are passing the data also to the view, and while loading, data was passed. If data was passed, we have to get it now. So based on this key, guys, what is the associative array you taken? Name of the key, subjects, right? Can you see in the view, maximum of the people, what they will try, they will come and they will try to print data. You cannot print data. Can you see? print underscore r of, don't print data, guys. I think you are going to print data. I know that because you are passing as a parameter to data, right? You are passing data. That's why you are printing data here. So if you can print data, it can't give you, it is going to give you error. Undefined variable data. You cannot pass like this. See, if you want to do anything, guys, remember carefully, what is the name of the key you passed? This key based you have to access into the view. You can go there, you can write these dollar subjects. Now can you see this is subject, and refresh the page? Can you see the subjects are printed, guys? These are the subjects you passed there, right? These subjects should be iterated now. If you want to iterate these subjects, now you can come down. This is static one. So here I have to write a for each loop, or for loop, you can write anything, no problem. For each dollar subjects, subg subjects as dollar d. Just I'm taking one variable. This variable will always holds the things, guys. Let's close PHP, open PHP. Inside of it directly, I'm writing this li tag, because why I'm doing like this, I won't write HTML as it is, guys. Here you can open PHP, close PHP, just print the echo b. So what happened? These values will be printed inside this. Now can you see? It is going to be printed all the values. Whatever the values you are getting from the controller, we printed all the things. And now you can check this carefully. You can add one more subject called WordPress. Let me add something called WordPress. Let me add something called Drupal, something I added. Just you can go and refresh it. They are also coming here now, WordPress and Drupal. Right, these are the view. Now the view is displaying a dynamic data now. Earlier it was static. So now it is dynamic data. One thing, how can we pass some data? Actually, this data we take in statically. Actually, the data should come to here from database, guys. We don't know database as of now. We don't know how to work with models, right? That's the reason we taken some static data. I have shown you how can we pass the data to the view. Very important, remember carefully. We have to pass the data to the view in the terms of associative array. What is the name of the key you are providing? With the same name you are going to able to access here. Don't print data. So you have to print the name of the associative array key. You have to print it, guys. This is how we can display the data into the view. This is how we can pass the data to a view also.